Welcome into the studio at Two Girls Treasure. I'm here. I really am. Hi, welcome in. I'm Diane Pruitt. We're in the studio at Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. Welcome. Good morning. YouTube has this little lag, I've realized, so I'll be talking and it won't be filming. So, good morning, and thank you for being here. I'm Diane Pruitt. We are in the studio at Two Girls Treasure in Florence, South Carolina. Yesterday, we put the Power Primer for pesky projects on this cute little side table that's metal. And today, we're going to jazz it up for spring. Are you ready? I have the colors picked out on the table. And we're gonna flip it upside down just like we always do. That way we can do the legs, we can do the trimmings, we can do all of the skirting, and then we can flip it over and do the top. We also have Miss Emily Claire's artwork from Iron Orchid Designs. We may get to this. I'm gonna try really hard. So let's see what we can get done in a really short period of time. Thanks for being here. I'm going to I'm going to tip you over. I'm going to go ahead and take my linen and I'm going to do my highlights in linen. It's a lot easier to cover these small areas quickly and then go around them in your main color. So we're just going to put our accent color in linen. I cleaned so many paint lids yesterday, just not this one. And before we went live, I was cleaning up, sweeping the floor. I made a mess. I was picking up and putting up. I just didn't open my paint. Y'all know that's a theme with me, right? I don't get in a hurry to open my paint up, just in case something happens. There we go. Ooh, this needs some cleanup. Big time. All right, got it. We're going to take just a small brush and our linen, which is an absolutely gorgeous mid-tone neutral. It has a yellow undertone to it, a creamy undertone, if you will. And we're going to go ahead and hit these highlights. That way I don't have to worry about painting over another color. I hate chasing paint. So we'll go ahead and hit all of these beautiful accents real quick. We'll get these done first. I'm going to go ahead and turn the fan on today. That way it's drying as we're going. I can get more done like that. And welcome in. Stop by, say hello if you're in the area. Come by the store. You're always welcome to join me in the studio. I have a thing about chairs. As long as you have chairs, you have a place to have company. You have a place for guests. And we have a lot of chairs in the studio. So please feel free to come by, grab one, bring your coffee. The studio is the only place in the store that you're allowed to have beverages. The rest of the store is fabulous. Vintage home furnishings and decor, and no beverages are allowed. But you can have your coffee in here, your tea, your water, whatever you love to drink first thing in the morning. You can have it here. Y'all know I have my coffee, right? And there we go. Just like that, I've got the first coat on these legs. I'll make sure it's all the way around. Doesn't have to be perfect the first time. Of course, you know I'm going to go around and make sure I've got it all covered. There we go. Da, da, da. Looks good. All right. I need a water bucket. This is what happens when I clean up. I clean everything up. We'll shot this over here, put a little water in to keep those bristles supple, and set it out to the side. I'm not going to close it, I'm just going to cap it. Now I'm going to go with our morning mist. This is such a beautiful, soft spring color. And we're going to use this to make this table more beautiful. Needs it. It definitely needs it. I'm going to use my 1-inch, and I'm going to start down here at the bottom. Get those corners. If this were a wood table, this would go on a little bit differently in some of these areas because since it's metal, it's wrapped over itself. I don't know if you can see that. So where with wood you would have, a little bit of trimming, maybe some blocks for support. Here you have metal wrapped around itself, and then you have a weld. So we want to make sure those are covered. Those are areas of what I would call weakness, that if they're not covered well, and you put this outside, those would be the areas that would first get rust on them. And since we're going for no rust, we used our Power Primer first. And we're going to follow that very closely with a beautiful spring coat of Morning Mist. I'm going to stay away from that linen for right this second. No, I'm not. I'm going to go right straight into it. Y'all knew that was coming, right? All right. And the goal is to just get the paint on. A nice first coat. Should I have painted this yesterday? Maybe, but I was working on a new top for a credenza. That sucked up most of my life yesterday. And I'm thinking today that that is ready. I'm going to take the router. I'm going to go cut it down. Good morning. If you're just joining, thank you for stopping by. Let's make this little table spring. Let's take it from ugly. If you remember, it was orange and not even a great shade of orange and not even a great paint job. It was spray painted orange, tomatoey orange, and I love tomatoes, but I don't like that color. So, we're going to make it amazing. Unbelievable. I do love that simply taking a piece of furniture or decor, adding a good solid color to it can change everything about it. And it makes it more desirable. Our goal with our store, with our refinishing, with our paint brand, everything about what we do is to prevent waste. Because we're not all about wasting things. All the way around, one good coat on the skirting and the bottom edge. Now, let's get to these legs. Let's come on up. I'm going to go right around the edge of that linen, because that's already dry. And we're going to move this paint all the way around the legs. Nice and easy. I do have, you know what? I do have a miracle sponge that I could grab. I could Brand new in the package, too. Dun, dun, dun. Our Miracle Sponge. These are great. Let's pop this open. Ha! They're child-proof. Alright, let's take this Miracle Sponge out of the package. I've got some gloves right here. So I will grab one. That's my Paltaya glove. We don't want to use that. No, we don't want to use that at all. Because I don't want to get Paltaya all over my beautiful light blue. I can use this one though. Because I can put it on the other way. I did not wash these like I said I was going to. You can always catch these videos on replay. Let me go ahead and put some paint on here. A good little bit. I'm going to come right up to that linen. Yes, I've got this in my hand and I'm still using the brush. It's just what I'm used to. Don't you just go with what you're used to? I do. All right, I'm going to spritz this with water so it does not absorb so much of my paint material. Squish it so the water goes in. And we're just going to take this and we're going to smooth that paint out. Let's see if this makes a difference. Pretty quick and easy, huh? I'm still going to go around the leg. Don't ask me why this is the way I do it. Don't ask me why. It's probably all wrong. I probably could go straight up and down, couldn't I? Probably could. I don't like the way that looks. Alright. Back to the brush. I don't like the way that looks. I don't like the way that feels. I love the Miracle Sponge, but not for this. Not today. I'm getting those corners right there. And I need to get around this before it dries, so I'm going to spritz it because it was starting to dry. I think it was just because I pulled it with the Miracle Sponge. I just didn't like the way it looked on here. So I'm going to stick with my normal procedure. And I'm just going to spin that beautiful paint right around those edges, all the way around the leg. We'll make it beautiful, I promise. And this is what I'm accustomed to. This is how I paint spindles. They don't bother me. I don't like the slapping paint method because then whatever color you're using gets all over everything that's around you. And I don't care for that. But just a nice, gentle, smooth movement with the side of the brush around the leg does the job. Check for any goopy spots, any extra paint, and make sure you catch that inside. Again, first coat of paint does not need to be an absolute finish. You just want to get the color on there. And I know we have the primer on there, but the primer is not the color. The Morning Mist is the color. That's what we're going with. So that's the color that we want to show. And we're not going to try to cover in one coat. We're going to cover in two. We may need to touch up in some areas, so I usually say 2.5. 2.5 coats of Rethunk Junk paint on anything makes a nice, smooth, even finish. and a beautiful piece of furniture. So we're going to go just like we are. We'll get our corners. We'll come across this part of the skirt. Make sure you get those corners really well, because those corners are the weak spot. Remember, this is a metal table, not wood. So I would venture to say this would make an absolutely beautiful plant stand anywhere in your home or on your porch. So if you have porch goals, here you go. I would also say that this would be a nice side table if you have some chairs on your patio or your porch. This would be a beautiful table to use outside, and as such, I want to make sure that all of the weak areas that could possibly start to rust because they're not covered well, I want to make sure they're covered well. And we're almost all the way around our first coat on this leg, just like that. And I'll turn, and I've got a little bit of buildup right here, so I'll smooth that out. Find the way that works for you. It does not have to be the way I do it. If the way I do it works for you, do it that way. Does not bother me one bit. But if the way I do it is not the way you're comfortable, do it the way you are. I'm not always right. I just know what works for me. And I don't think that makes me wrong. I just think that everybody has a comfort level with where they hold their brush, how they hold their brush, and how they cover what they're working on. Your way is right if you're comfortable with it. I truly believe that. Making some good progress here. I've got this bottom edge up underneath our lower table. You'd be able to put 2 plants on this table. You could put a plant underneath it and still use it for a side table. Just like that. There we go. Just like that. Three legs done, rounding the corner, literally and figuratively, rounding the corner on this last one. Let's get this. Very nice. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome in. I know it's April Fool's, but you know what? I've never really participated. Well, the one time, and maybe this is why I don't, that one time that my sisters and I substituted salt in the sugar bowl. So when my mama got her coffee that morning, she had salt in her coffee and not sugar. I think that was the last day of my life I ever participated in April Fool's. So, oh, we still have one more leg. So, yeah, I don't do April Fool's real well. I will never forget how red my mama's temple got. We will not do that again. I think we all got in trouble. I'll have to ask Laura. Laura, if you're on, how much trouble did we get in for that? And who got out of trouble? And don't say it was me because I was the youngest. That's not right either. I just don't do April Fool's jokes. I guess we should be a little more lighthearted, shouldn't we? But today's such a serious day. Ariel's singing at church tonight, so we're excited about that. Proud of her. So proud of that girl. And if you have children and you love them, you know how special and precious they are. But boy, if you have a grandchild, there is nothing in the world like it. Most precious people on earth. And she loves to paint too. So it is April 1st, and we are working with our blues in April. And we want you to take things from ugly to unbelievable using our Rethunk Junk Paint products. And again, we will have a bundle deal for you to take advantage of. Ugly to unbelievable, a pint, a Worcester, a prep, a pack of alcohol wipes for cleanup, and we might have a Cersei in there for you in every bundle that you purchase. In store or online. Take advantage of these offers when we make them. We can't always offer them. We're not Amazon, y'all. And we're not even trying to be. We're just our little old selves over here in Florence, South Carolina, trying to make a living, doing things. Now this turned out kind of nice. Got a little bit of buildup right here I'm going to smooth out. And then to cap it all off, I'm going to hit it with the mist just to keep it smooth and honest. Got a little buildup right here. And oops, missed a spot. Probably missed a few spots. There we go. Nice, good coverage top to bottom. I'm excited about the way this is going to look. Very soft, very gentle, very spring. Yep, missed some spots. Got those. I'll get that inside when we do our second coat on the legs. That'll be my last thing to do. Now let's flip it over and let's get this top done. No buildup. No buildup, because that'll make ugly legs. And we're not going ugly. And someone asked me yesterday, so here's the really great simple answer. Yes, you can spray Rethunk Junk Paint by Laura. You absolutely can. It is not hard. You just simply... oh, paint all over me. Paint all over me. You be careful when you flip it, is what you do. You just thin your paint when you're putting it in your sprayer so that you've got a good pattern, you've got movement. I didn't get it on my jeans or my shirt, thankfully. And I should have my apron on, but I just don't. It's in the office. I left it there. But you add a little bit of water so that you can get it through the spray nozzle, and that's really all you have to do. I don't use Floetrol with or Floetrol, whatever y'all want to call it. I don't use that with this paint. This is a water-based paint, and as such, really the only thing you need to thin it is water. That's really it. That's the only thing you need to thin this paint is water. So if you are going to spray, which in some instances makes things a little bit quicker, just add some water. You can add up to 20% without degrading the product. So let that 20% value be based on how much paint you're putting in your sprayer. Measure it. Do the math. 20% keeps your paint, it keeps it thin enough to go through the sprayer and keeps your color, and it keeps it from running, because you don't want your paint to run while you're spraying it, because then you'll have a mess. Alright, now let's see if I can put it back up without doing any more damage. Ugh. There we go. That was easy. Now let's see about this lower shelf. I'll bring it in so you can see it. This lower shelf needs some love too. A lot of times by the time I get everything set up to spray, get the furniture taped off and set up, with some pieces I could have just brushed it and been done with it. I don't have to worry about brush strokes with this paint because it will level out, but you will see me smooth my strokes out because I want the paint to lay down in a nice, smooth, flat manner. And if I put the paint on all willy-nilly, well, that's how it's going to dry, right? And if that's how it dries, that's what it's going to look like. And I'm not here for that. I'm here for my paint to look really nice. And I'm not going to get a good, smooth finish if I put the paint on all willy-nilly. So I smooth it so that when it dries, it lays down flat. Everything you do to get your surface ready to accept the paint has a net result on what your paint finish looks like. And if you do a crappy job putting the paint on, then you're going to have a crappy paint job. And I am definitely not here for that. So let's go around this skirt. Catch these bottom sides. Make sure there's no drips or runs. And catch a nice wide angle run around the architecture here. and make sure everything there's filled in. I'm going to leave that leg alone because that was the last one. This was the first one. And I'm going to slow it down, reel it back just a little bit. Because if I slow it down with this wide 2-inch Wooster shortcut, then I'm going to get good coverage, no ridges, and this will be my last coat. If I'm in a hurry like I was putting it on to begin with, well, it's going to look just like it looks right now. It's going to look crappy, and I'm not here for crappy paint jobs. No bad paint jobs. At this point, just slow it down, do it well, and then your second coat will be your finish coat. And that's going to look really, really good. I love how light and airy this color is. It is so spring. It goes with anything. And this will be a nice, delicate finish to use the Emily Claire transfer pieces with. I also looked at the lace stamp set this morning, and I may do lace across the top. I'm going to come down to that ridge, and I'm going to stop right there. Since the leg is on the table, anything that I pick up from the table will go in the paint, and that's not what I want. So I'm going to leave that bottom edge, and I'm going to spritz that leg like there is no tomorrow. And let's spin it on around. And when the blue dries completely, when the morning mist dries completely, I'll come back in with my detail brush and I'll hit these highlights of linen again. And that too will look very soft and gentle against this beautiful morning mist. Just the right amount of color. Not too much paint. Just enough. Nice and slow and smooth. We'll get this edge while we're going. And the fan's doing a good job because this is already tacking up, which means that it is getting dry. We don't have a lot of humidity today, which is very unusual. We have a good ambient temperature in the 60s. So we should dry just fine. Humidity makes the paint very difficult to dry without being tacky. It doesn't matter what brand paint you're using. Humidity has no discrimination. Humidity will ruin your paint job if you're not careful. So if it's real humid, don't paint outside. If it's really super hot and sunny, don't paint outside. Just use the Rethunk Junk paint. You can paint inside. That's what we do. All right, all the way down this leg, nice and smooth. And let's go ahead and mist it as well. And that'll help that lay down as it dries. So we're halfway around the table, and I'm going to go ahead and hop off because we have a lot of work to get done and not a lot of time today. I appreciate you being here with me. We'll be back tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. I'll have the floor swept beforehand so I won't be late. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Get your Rethunk Junk paint products on our website at twogirlstreasure.com. Just click the collection and peruse all the beautiful colors, all 54 of them, the metallics, the glazes, the washes, and the sealers. If you have any questions about how to use a particular product, please let me know. Just reach out by messenger through the website. And you can always drop a comment on our Facebook page. That's where you'll find the bundle deals for our ugly to unbelievable for spring. I'm Diane Pruitt. We're in the studio at Two Girls Treasure right here in Florence, South Carolina. We're just a half mile off I-95. Stop in any time to see us. Y'all have a beautiful day. Take care of yourselves and take care of each other. See you soon.